Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'm going to talk about word salad and how a narcissist confuses you or keeps you engaged. So, one thing with being in a relationship with a narcissist or when you're engaging with a narcissist is they don't really like boredom and they enjoy this thrill, even at the expense of your own mental health. And one thing they normally do is engage in what's called word salad. This is where like they engage in a conversation which keeps you occupied. So word salad is a communication style which involves a continual flow of words and phrases that lack coherence or veering off topic, repeating or conflicting with each other. It makes you confused because you can't really understand the true intentions of the conversation or you can't keep track of their chain of thought. And a narcissist may use word salad to just deflect uncomfortable conversations or to just make you feel inferior or to make themselves feel superior over you. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the warning signs that you are engaging in a word salad so that you can disengage and stop yourself from engaging in this kind of meaningless conversation which is going nowhere. The first one is circular conversations. Circular conversations is where you find yourself going round and round in cycles without really getting any resolutions or progress towards a final solution to the conversation you are having. Like the conversation does not have an end, it's just round and round. They repeat some phrases or argue the same points over and over, or they just beat around the bush without really hitting the point or driving the point home. So every time you bring up the same issue, it's like you've never discussed that issue before. And you just go round and round in circles without getting to the final resolution. So you find yourself feeling so frustrated, tired, and stuck that you just decide to either drop the conversation and never mention it again, or you even start thinking that you are not a good communicator because it's just like a merry-go-round. You would never really get out of that loop. That's a circular conversation. The second one is bringing up your past wrongdoings or switching topics. Let's say you raise a concern, a genuine concern, like you raise something like why are they flirting with someone or them cheating on you. They will mention something which is totally unrelated with the issue at hand. They will mention your past wrongdoings, like for example, let's say in the past you got drunk at a work party or you didn't come home early, so as just to deflect your attention from the concerns you've raised presently to something else. So you will now find yourself over explaining or even apologizing for that past wrongdoing, which you thought you had already made your amends on. So by focusing on your past mistakes, you'll never really reach a resolution for the issue you had raised earlier. And you'll just find yourself going in this loop. Or you'll even find yourself ignoring that issue you had raised. So they switch topics when they don't like the way the conversation is going, or when they don't like the direction that conversation is heading towards. So they switch the topic. Another form of word salad is you may find yourself in situations where you are explaining basic concepts of life like empathy, feelings, kindness to a person who is incapable of or is unwilling to understand those things. And actually, this can be really frustrating as these are generally understood concepts like kindness, forgiveness. So the trap is you might be tempted to believe that if you can just make them understand that their behavior is hurtful to you, they'll stop doing it. And they'll start treating you better. But of course, that's never the case. You'll just keep explaining and thinking that the more you explain kindness or empathy, they will understand. So, and the thing is, you also need to understand that during the idealization phase of the relationship, or when they were luring you in, they tried kindness or just glimpses of kindness, but they could not hold it much longer. That's why they resorted to manipulating you. The other one is playing victim and countless excuses. A narcissist will also keep you occupied or engaged by having excuses for every single thing they've done. You may raise a genuine concern, but they'll still throw in an excuse after excuse. They'll never fully take responsibility or be accountable for their actions. They may also use the same excuse they've been using all along, and this will just leave you feeling confused at what else you need to do. The other kind of excuse which may really catch you off guard is they may use their past experiences or their past painful experiences as crutches for their current wrongdoings. And when they play victim, you'll feel sorry for them and you'll even let them off the hook without getting to the final resolution of the conversation you had raised earlier. Another warning sign of word salad is when you walk away from the conversation, you feel so confused and you feel like it was just a waste of time. Like you have a conversation, but you feel drained and frustrated, yet you accomplish nothing in the conversation. So you spend like 2 hours, 3 hours in that conversation, but you walk away feeling confused. You don't even know what happened. So you find yourself replaying the whole conversation in your head and trying to find ways you should have said it better. So the conversation led to, instead of answers, it led to countless questions which will never have answers. The sixth one is the conversation is kind of patronizing or condescending you. Like you just can't have a normal conversation with them. And the conversation turns out to be like a superior battle. Like they don't want to understand you. And they will just look at you as if you are this inferior being, even when you are explaining yourself or trying to reach as a resolution in that kind of relationship. So they may show this calm demeanor, but of course with an evil smirk in their face. And that's their facial expression look like it's like they don't even bother about what you're telling them. It's just this expression of just mocking you or just assessing your emotional reaction. And the whole point is to make you feel emotionally unstable or feel inferior or feel like you don't know what you're talking about. Like you are not even making sense. You are making sense, but the whole point is just make it look like you're not even making sense. So you will decide to drop the conversation or just drop what the issue you had raised. The last thing about the word salad is during your conversation with the narc, they will display various personas depending on the kind of conversation you're having. So they'll put a different kind of mask when you're having a conversation with them so that they can just reestablish their control over you. So they may display this good cop or bad cop depending on the direction where they want the conversation to go. For example, when you are threatening to leave, they may lure you back with promises of change or affect future. And if that doesn't work, they may threaten you by preying on your deep fears, on your insecurities. Like it's just about trying different things with the main aim being reestablishing their control over you or their dominance over you. It's very, very difficult to actually have a sober conversation with an narc because you'll always feel that there's something wrong with that conversation. Like it doesn't make sense. Something doesn't add up. It's not even a conversation at all because every interaction with them leaves you feeling confused and feeling bad about yourself. And when you find yourself engaging in this kind of word salad, actually the best thing to do is not to let them get into your head. Like see those conversations are just meaningless conversations aimed at making you feel inferior or making or regaining their control over you. And you can never really reach a common ground with a narc because at times you may tell yourself, maybe I just want to be a better communicator. No, you can never really reach a common ground because they cannot lower their standards to like your level so that you can understand one another. So the best thing to do is for you to accept that it's pointless to understand them and it's just draining your mental health. You don't really need to prove a point to them, and the best place for you is far away from them as much as possible. You don't need to prove a point to someone who's not listening or who's not attentive, who just wants to have their way. Hope you found that informative, guys. So if you are engaging in any kind of word salad, let's say if it's a manipulative boss or past or your ex, don't really engage in it. Just find a way to disengage because you are just wasting your time and it's heading nowhere and it will just affect your mental health. Hope you found that informative, guys. Until next time, see ya.